That'll work. Hey guys, Ron Musgraves here, Pressure Washing Institute, Contractors First. Guys, I want to tell you today, I've got a special guest here, but I want to let you guys know I got 5 of these to give away if you guys got some super great questions. Colm Fidgeon here, guys, from Precision Soap, guys, and many other brands, as you can see down here. He's going to introduce himself today. We've known each other for about 12 or 13 years. He's been in business almost as long as I have. Colm, tell them how long you've been in business and what you do there in New Jersey.
Hey guys, Ron, thank you so much for that great introduction. My name is Colm Fidgeon, originally from Ireland. Apparently I have a bit of an accent, especially on Friday morning here. But real quick, I'm delighted to have own Precision Powerwash, and we are entering our 30th year in that world. Yes, you heard that correctly, 30. Ron has been around for 37. The legend himself is right there next to me. How cool is technology? I'm in New Jersey. Ron is over there in Arizona. I own 5 little corporations. One of them is Precision Powerwash, and then we have PrecisionSoap.com, PrecisionSoapStore.com for the online version. Beautiful location here in New Jersey. We have bleach on demand 24/7 for all the local contractors that need to pick it up. We're a Karcher, Landa, and a Shark dealer as well over here. Years ago, when I started my business, my pressure washing business, one thing I noticed was that, Ron, that dealers and pressure washing dealers weren't the most friendliest people around, the people that sold the equipment. So when we were in a spot and had the experience and we were blessed to open our own location here and sell the equipment, we actually give the nuggets and the knowledge over, because I've been on both sides of the fence a lot longer on the washing side as a dealer and a soap manufacturer here also. But it's lovely to have new people come in. We do the trailer builds for people as well. We set municipalities up with their own equipment, and that's epic. But if you're local here in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, or Maryland, it's nice to be able to come back and get your equipment repaired and serviced, which is really cool. A lot of times you have to ship your stuff across the country to get it fixed, or if you buy it off the internet, as the old saying goes, what is it, SOL? Good luck to you. Yeah, you can just come on back here and we'll get it fixed for you. And it's a great trait to have. A little bit about myself. I arrived in America in 87. That's 1987 now. Anyone years from now looking at this video. And I started off pumping gas in Wildwood.
And you were just back in Ireland. Was it for your father's birthday?
I was. Father's Day, Ron, and happy Father's Day. Belated Father's Day. Yep. Went home to visit my dad. Blessed to be able to have the funds to do that. And it was just epic. I was there for 48 hours. Said hello. Got to see some great people for a few hours I was there, and touch the motherland where you were born, which was neat. Really a great trip. And I came back on Monday evening. I had a commitment for a luncheon on Tuesday, and that luncheon canceled, but I did have a great afternoon regardless. But the magic was I committed to that. And let me just touch base on been 30 years in business, Ron, and yourself been the legend and the mentor. It's the stickability. Anybody can open a business. It's just staying in business is the issue. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, man. Staying in business is the key. Anybody can get customers too. Can you keep customers, right? That's the other thing. I think a lot of guys out there think, man, I got this great marketing plan. I love the guys that are selling it for $19.95 or $392, and there's just a lot of mechanics involved in this. And I don't think here's another one. Guys always use it. It makes me nuts. It's just squirting water, man, there's a lot more science to cleaning, and there's a thing called production rate where actually all the dollars go into your pocket. And if you do not understand all those things, you can sell like the dickens and get all kinds of jobs and lose all kinds of money trying to do them, right? You remember?
Totally agree with you.
You remember when you first started, you don't have any trouble selling, but you fastly realized, what am I doing wrong? Because at the end of the month, your checking account didn't work. You're trying to pay the bills, and you're like, wait a minute, we sold all these jobs, but it just seems like we're not making any money. And a lot of guys take all this stuff for granted. It's not. You didn't buy yourself a job when you went down to Home Depot and got a pressure washer. You have to understand you've got to run this thing like a business. You need professional grade equipment. You need professional guidance when you want to start one of these businesses. And if you want to scale up a business, I wish you could go outside, but I don't want you to move. We're talking to a guy here that when I met him, and I've told this story before, I met him, I don't know what year it was in the early mid 2000s. And I walked out into his yard, and he probably had $1 million in assets in the yard. And I was just like, I was looking at it, and I'm not going to share the numbers you told me, but I was just like, wait a minute, man, you got to be doing like 10 times that to have this many assets. Because I was like freaked out, because I was thinking to myself, wow, this is a lot of assets. Now what's crazy is you have all those assets, and those numbers now meet what the variation of having all those assets are. Tell them the biggest lift you got. That's the amazing thing, because I know you do these big water towers, and you do all these big projects. I think for many municipalities there, right? You don't work for just in Jersey. Do you cross the lines, or do you usually stay right there in Jersey?
Oh no, we'll travel. Just pay me and I'll move. That's the bottom line.
Tell them
a lot
about the
of
biggest
people
lift you got, though.
So we're blessed to own 5 lifts. Let me tell you the story about my first lift. I paid $10,000 for it, and I bought the trailer that cost $10,000 to move it. Then we got a ticket for not marrying up with the weights on the truck. Got a lot of trouble with the DOT. That was a schooling lesson. That was, and DOT is Department of Transportation, and they're a federal operation.
You're the only pressure washer I know that has a 18-wheeler, though, and you might have 2 by now since you got 5 lifts. How many do you have?
I have the one tractor there, the 18-wheeler, but the Landau trailer that tows those lifts now is a gem. To buy that thing new is $120,000. It's just beautiful, but it's something of all. It's a big Tonka toys.
I'm actually surprised it's that cheap.
Oh, that's everything's pricey. But real quick, when I got my first lift, I met this guy, Bob Palouse, his name was, and he worked for a rental company. And he tried to sell me his power washing business. He had a small business back in the day. But lo and behold, it really boils down to relationships. My old lift broke. Within 2 hours, Bob Palouse from Modern Equipment had a new lift on site up in Trenton. And I bought my first lift off him. That lift was $35,000. I paid good money for that thing. I still have it. We reconditioned those to buy a new lift. So my lift our lifts range from a 45-footer up to with a JLG, goes up to 86 feet, like 9 stories, and we're in the market for a 135.
Are we going to be showing some lift? Are we going to be showing some lift? We're not going to do any training, but we're going to be showing some lifts at this event, right? We're going to show them.
Yeah, I've got one across the street, the baseball field across the street, which we sponsored. We brought one up they borrowed it to move some lights. That'll be here on the 15th of July for our event, the 14th and 15th here coming up. I'll have a lift here. We'll do some demos on it.
So you're telling me that I just hear what you said. So you do some community service for the Little League, and you let them use the lift to change the lights. Is that what I just heard? Or do you charge them to do that?
No, that's you got to give back, baby. That's one thing about America.
You're kidding me.
You want to get ahead. You want to get ahead. You want to get ahead in America. You have to fall back.
You got any little leaguers? You got any little leaguers in there? It used to be, or any kids that were in their little league?
Oh, my kids, yeah. We played the baseball fields, and they come in here and use my speakeasy, and they have their pizza parties in here, and the kids, if it's raining or whatever.
Kids are doing shots of Jameson's.
Jameson, actually, they do shots of soda. It's kind of the cutest thing ever. We train them young here. That's the way to have it.
That's good. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. No, man, I had to tell that story because, when I first met you, I was like, this guy's a serious guy in the industry. And I want these guys to understand that, like, they don't understand, like, you have to have these assets in order to get this stuff. You're not going to go sell. You're not going to go be able to, I mean, you can get started and go rent a lift to go do water towers, but man, it's just not going to be as profitable or as advantageous when you actually have the equipment and you have the gear and somebody says, hey man, I need this thing done by so-and-so time. You've got the assets. You can go out there and handle the job as long as your schedule permits it. And I don't think people realize the advantages that is when you can do something like that. And also training and knowing the employees that you got involved. You got the guys on your staff. I've seen them there. They know how to run the equipment. It just goes back to that thing about, people don't understand that you got to have the marketing, the sales, the operations, all that stuff with the training, all has to work in together. And that's what makes a guy have a successful business and be able to technically, scale the way they need to scale. Look at when I first met you. We were only talking about Precision Pro Wash. That's all you had. You've turned this thing in the 13 years now into 4 or 5 different companies. I won't mention the other company you didn't want me to mention that goes on. Well, I do want to talk about Live at the Clubhouse.
Go ahead.
Live at the Clubhouse. Yeah. When do you actually do that event? It's only one time a year. Is it going to be in Vegas this year? Atlantic City? Where's it going this year?
So Live at the Clubhouse is where we take over a hotel and we put network. I call it friendshipping. People from all industries. Doesn't make a difference if you're in marketing, insurance, sales, business professionals and owners get together. And we talk about from your heart to being good natured, how to run a business and how to make connections. And the next one is in Nashville, Tennessee, and it'll be on the 10th and 11th of February of 2023.
Love it, man.
And that is where people, no matter what business you're in, pressure washing, painting, any service business or any kind of business, you're selling anything, that's where different walks of life come together and share their experiences. And we talk and we bring up an expert panels from your health to your wealth and in between. And it gets really deep. But the magic about that event is you make lifelong friendships out of it. Just like any event I put on, there's more friendships come out of these events.
We had lots.
We're just a pro at that.
We've had lots and lots of fun at your events, man. That's for dang sure. Guys, I'm giving 5 of these away today. 5 of these away, guys. Make sure you guys check it out. Pressure Washing Institute shirts. We've given about 3,000 of them away over the past couple of years. Guys don't normally believe that, but I give them away all the time. You guys got a question today and you want a shirt, just inbox me. I'm going to give it to the first 5 guys that inbox me that watch this video live. Inbox me and we'll get you guys a shirt, man. We got Mr. Van Hale there. I know you know James, man. He's the condo king there, right there by you. We got let's see, Don Ward did a shout out to you. You know Don, I take it.
All the pressure washer. Everybody's great people. It doesn't make a difference what business you're in. You never
Good
know.
Good morning, Colm. I don't know who that is, but hopefully they're still watching. They can tell us who they are. We can't tell who they are. This guy here says it's too early. We got to get some coffee. It is early, but they must be a West Coaster. That must be a West Coaster out there because by you, man, it's 7 o'clock here. And what, you got 10 o'clock, 10 a.m.?
Coming up on 10 o'clock, yeah. I get up at 5 every morning.
That's not early. I will testify that you get up at 5. You called me.
Every day, 5 a.m., maybe 8 on a Sunday. But we all, real quick, I'll drop a nugget for everybody that's listening or maybe on the feed later. We all get 86,000 seconds and a few extra every day. It doesn't make a difference how rich you are, if you're a billionaire, if you're Ron Musgraves, Colm Fidgeon, or if you're a person that's down on their luck. We all get the same amount of time each day, and we all decide what we're going to do with it. It's like a never-ending bank. And people don't realize that they'll spend half their day in bed procrastinating. They'll put something off. They won't pick up the phone to ask for that lead. Can I have your business? People don't have the courage. Sometimes it's all in your mind. You need to get over that fear and make the most of your day. Now, to get up at 5 a.m., I'm in bed normally by 9:30. I don't go to bed at midnight. I'm in bed and asleep, and I wake up at 5 and up. I'm out the door by 5:20, 5:30, and off I go with my day. But we all get the same amount of time. People, oh, I have no business. The phone's not ringing. Well, there's only one problem that is, it's your problem. Use those 86,000 seconds wisely.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You know, I just had an experience, man, where I was doing something that I didn't want to do. And I had to tell my mind, you know what? I just got to get this done, you know? And like always, when you always get it done and it's over with, what do you feel? You feel
I re-
better about it. You feel, yeah,
I
you
re-
feel, and you sometimes wonder why did I pussyfoot around about doing that? You know what I mean? Like why did why was I worried about doing that or afraid to do that? Because after you get it done, you just feel so much better about getting it done. It's just unbelievable. And I mean, even in my age, man, sometimes you're just like, hey, what am I doing? Sometimes you got to go push yourself to just go get stuff done, get it done. Even if you don't want to do it, you just got to go out there and you got to get it done. And you know what? I we all here's one of the things I always tell everybody, and there's some guys that are going to see this clip and they've heard me say this before. When we were, and you've had this, it doesn't go through your mind anymore. But people don't realize your first 3, 4, 5 years, sometimes 5 years in business, you have this thing in your head like, what am I doing? I'm going to give up. I'm going to quit. I'm done with this. You know, we've all been there. You go home with the wife, the checkbook isn't balancing. You're like, I'm doing something wrong. You know, I'm done with it. I'm going to quit. And you don't quit. You persevere, you push, you go through it. But here's the one thing I want to tell you guys. If you guys come to any event, almost any event that I do, and Colm's going to have a great event on the 15th of July. If you come to that event, I'm telling you right now, if you've had those thoughts in your head, this event is going to help you get rid of those thoughts to where you will never say them again. When's the last time you thought about quitting? I know you thought about it, but it's been years, right?
You know, let's go a little deeper on that. What a great talk. Like, people quit on friendships, relationships, and they all go through our thoughts every day. Like, I'll give you an example. My Clubhouse event, we lost money on the first event that we did. And the day
And you
before, we were
could
going to
quit. And you could
we
quit.
could.
Yeah.
I took a loan out to push it over the line. And what an experience to grow from that, to realize that when you quit something, you are back to square one again. You have to start fresh, meet new people, reintroduce yourself. And it doesn't make a difference what you're doing. You can quit or you can move on. You know, fear, that stands for false evidence appearing real. Did you know that your brain, inside your head has never seen the light of day?
That's
That's a
a
deep
thought.
thing. I'll repeat it. Your brain has never seen the light of day. It's just there firing away, telling you what to do, moving your fingers, do this, do
Yep.
that. So, once you train your brain and your body to do what it needs to do, you own your mind. Whereas another thing, Ron, about people quitting is they've all a naysayer, a bunch of haters out there too. It's always haters come first, then it's acceptance, and then you're a genius. I'll repeat that again. Haters, naysayers first, because they don't have the courage to get up and start a business. Get up in the morning early. If my wife goes, "You're not getting up at 5 o'clock," and I said, "Well, you may look for a new husband, because that's what I'm doing. There's nothing stopping me." You know,
you
we,
you know what's funny, and it sounds like I don't know if you have this problem at all, but like mine does not want to hear about pressure washing talk. Okay. You know what I mean? I've got to keep that. I got to keep that separated. You know what I mean? It's like guys all the time go, you always answer the phone. And I'm always like, if I text you, she's sitting next to me because I'm not answering the phone. The last thing she wants to hear. And it's funny because like sometimes my kids are in the back seat and they go, Dad, you should record that stuff. We've heard that 1,900 times now, because the fundamentals of these things, you wind up telling people the same things over and over. This one here, man, is really important. And I don't think this is James. I know you know James Colm. But this is it, man. There's the foundation. He really laid it out right there. And there is no magic wand. You can make magic happen within your business once you get all the things melding together and rolling together. I saw a guy, and I don't know if you know Mike Wingard from Legacy. He made a blog yesterday about tackling one thing at a time, fix one thing at a time. And so many guys all the time have all these projects going, and I have to go, whoa, stop. List them out. List the top 3 important ones out. Put them up first. Get all the other ones out. Put the importance of what those are. If there's 15 of them, put them 1 through 10. Get the top 3 done by starting with the first one. Work on the next list by starting on the first one. Don't start 15 projects at one time, because you and I both know what happens. Nothing gets completed. And that's a huge piece of advice right there. Anybody that's at that point in their business that you're trying to put all these things into play, you got to do them one at a time, walk right through them, complete one thing, and start the next one and move on. At the end, that's when the magic will begin to happen. The magic will start to happen, but there is no magic wand. It's not going to happen overnight, and it's going to take a lot of hard work, man, and a lot of frustration sometimes in humans. And you know what? My thing, guys all the time talk about employees. Somebody asked me the other day, what's your goal? And my goal is I don't want to have any employees. And there's guys out there all the time talking about, I can make the culture in your business. And I'm going to tell you something. I had a really good culture in my company. We took them. We had regular trips throughout the year. We did 2. We did a winter and we did a summer. We did camping trips. We did skiing trips. We had picnics. We did all those things, and you can do all those things. And we had a really good culture. But at the day's end, people are people. And I always try to tell people, you want to hire people that are raised right and that can manage themselves. If you can find those people raised right, follow directions, and manage themselves, you found a winner. That's a winner. Don't lose them. Whatever it is you got to do to hang on to those people, you got to hang on to them, because they're going to make your life easier. If you don't find those people, you are going to be pulling. Wait a minute. Hold on. Here you go. There you go. Right there. You're going to lose all your hair. There ain't no gray hair. There ain't no gray hair. You're just going to lose all your hair. There you go.
There you go.
He's doing something right.
That's what it looks like, Ron, right there.
Another good thing. Another good thing by James there, man. I love James. He's a great guy. But yeah, I mean, that's what you got to do. Hey, we're about 24 minutes. I said I want to wrap this thing up in 30. And you got any like closing things for these guys for this event? 15th, guys. He's got an entire event going on the 15th. We're going to have some links up with the details. I'm going to come in on the 14th, and I'm going to do a little bit of free sales marketing. I'm going to talk about some stuff about how you need to make your buying experience. You have to make your buying experience nice. If your buying experience is horrible, and you have these expectations that people are going to jump through these hoops, customers in today's market, am I wrong? They're not jumping through hoops, are they?
They're lazy. They want everything handed to them from the phone while they're sitting on the toilet. That's how lazy they are. And, you're only getting 30 seconds with them. I wanted to drop back there real quick for anyone that's hanging on this long about the telephone. Let me share something with you. I'm in business 30 years this year, and God bless America for that. But never mind the hours I put in. But you put your hours in. Hard work never will outwork anything in life. You put your good hours in, you will do fine. But the telephone has not, the how it's delivered has changed. But the telephone, yes, PHONE, will never ever change. People love to talk on the telephone. Texts are great, but the telephone live feeds are fantastic. Like, this technology is great. And you had talked about answering the phone when you're next to your wife, and I appreciate that tip now. When I text you now a little later, now I know why we're texting. And I can go, LOL, tell her I said hi. Anyway, back in the day, I used to text two hands. Now it's just one. But answer the phone. If the phone rings, someone went to the trouble to call you. If someone calls me on my business lines, within 4 seconds, that phone is answered. They're looking either for a quote or to spend money with you. Someone went to the trouble and took a minute or 36 seconds out of their day to look up your number. They got a referral. The telephone will never, ever go out of style, meaning no matter how technology, it could be in your eyes down the line, but the one-to-one conversation on the phone, if you can charm people on the telephone and then you over deliver, give good value for your product or your service, you will never, ever want for any business.
Absolutely.
Everybody
Completely agree.
everybody
Answer the phone. And that's why people, it's funny because I can remember customers, whether it was a problem or not. And I get guys all the time, they get a problem customer and they don't want to answer the phone. And I remember this woman, she was worth about 275,000 annually in annual contracts. And we completely screwed some stuff up for her. But she made a point that, and this is another thing, she made a point that I always answer the phone. She loved that. Even when she was having a problem, because when she started having problems with somebody, she knew she wasn't going to get it fixed because they would send her to they'd hit the FU button and send her to voicemail. And I always answered the phone. Now, did I want to answer the phone? Especially when you screw something up, you're like, but you got to okay, how you doing? This is me again. We screwed your stuff up really bad and we're fixing it. The reality of it is she kept using us because we answered the phone. We fixed and solved the problem because you know what? Big buyers are going to understand. And James is listening to this right now. He knows this. Your employees can screw up. But as long as you can fix the problem and take care of it, professional buyers, the big boys, they understand that that's going to happen. They just want to know that you're going to answer the phone when the problem happens, and they want to know that you're going to fix the problem. And that's what builds those forever relationships, because then they know, hey, man, this company's got the integrity to just, if they got a problem, they're going to get on the phone with us. They're going to walk through the problem, and then they're going to fix the problem. And I hear so many guys out there that they're running from that stuff, and they're going, oh, we finished the job. Just give us our check. Wait a minute, man. You always know when somebody's having a payment problem and they're going, hey, man, they haven't paid me. Well, did you contact them to make sure they're happy? No. What you didn't follow up to make sure, they're happy? How do you expect to get your check if you didn't go through and do some kind of a point system to say, hey, are you completely satisfied with the job? And then 9 times out of 10, they make that phone call. They find out the customer's not happy. They're pissed off that they got to go out there and redo something. And then I love it when they go, well, I'm not redoing that unless you pay me. What do you mean you're not doing that unless you pay me? They're already good. Then you're not going to get paid. That's right. It's like, have you ever been in a store and had a bad experience and you thought, a bad cheeseburger? The GM didn't go, well, we're not giving you another cheeseburger. Eat the one you got, or the GM picks it up and takes it. There's nothing wrong with this cheeseburger. Eat it.
Eat it. And he licks it. It's a, I'll drop another nugget. If your crews mess up or something happens, or you mess up, you break a window when you're washing something, or you kill a plant with some bleach or something like that, put your hand up. Go, hey, hello, I messed up. No one's going to yell at you because you're after diffusing the situation. If my guys break a window, I'm like, call me. I'm on the phone with a manager. Hey, we just broke a window. Really? Oh, okay. They can't get, because it's when they find out afterwards, they have enough on their plate as it is. If they find out after you leave, or if you can cut that off at the pass, as I call that, you're not going to have a problem. Hey, we screwed up this. We're going to get it fixed. I have another line. The line is, go ahead.
No, you got it. I just want to make sure these guys know, hey, by Monday, National Cleaning Expo will have all the details to this event, but also there's many other events there, guys. There's all kinds of free events all over the country, guys. We got Dallas, San Antonio, Houston, Sandestin, Atlanta. We're going to have one at TChem coming up right after Colm's on the 20th and 21st, guys. Make sure that you go to National Cleaning Expo. Make sure you get registered. I'm going to let you give me some closing statements. And then I got one more thing that I want to talk about when you said busted glass. And then look at that. Look at that right there. Look at that. Love Colm's advice. There you go. James has been listening to both of us for a long, long time. We listen to James now because he is actually the condo king. He is the condo king.
James, a great soul. I looked at a job yesterday in Atlantic City for a big parking garage, and John from Roof Wizards looked at it, and it just wasn't in his wheelhouse. Whereas we do parking garages, and we own a tanker and everything else. And I'll be able to give a little tour of that on the people who come in on the Thursday for your free class, Ron. We'll go down to my other lot, which is about 10 miles from here, and show people what it's like to have some of the big toy equipment, but more importantly, to have the courage to go finance that stuff and go find the business for it. When you have the equipment and the right equipment, it is easier to sell the job. Another thing I tell people about soaps and stuff, if it's not in stock, you can't use it. People are like, oh, how much soap do I have to buy? That you got the wrong end of the stick. You need all your stuff in stock. So when you go sell a job, I'll be out this afternoon to take care of that. So on the 15th, it's a paid event. And the reason we're going to have a paid event, not a free event here, is because we get the people that actually care and are going to invest in themselves. That's the number one thing you need to do in life, is invest in yourself, your health, your wealth, your education. With my 30 years and Ron's 37 years, that is 67 years worth of knowledge, nuggets. There is 2 gold mines in between the two of us here, myself and Ron, and never mind the other knowledge you're going to get from other people. We will be doing live demos, a great roof wash. I did my neighbor's house 3 years ago, nearly to the day. We are going to show people our exclusive 5-step process. We do not use bleach on the siding. I'll repeat that again.
I forgot about that. But we're going to show them how to use it. We're going to show both, right?
Yeah, we'll show both. But the magic is, I have not touched my neighbor's house in 3 years. And Chris, we're great friends. We're going to go over, rewash his house, even though it's not that dirty, believe it or not. And my own house, we can wash my house too, but it's just the magic. I've got the old style aluminum siding, which is tough to clean. We're going to be talking about systems and processes here, and I wanted to touch base on the Saturday. I've got Jeff Cunningham, the entrepreneur himself, coming in. This guy has got 1 million followers on.
And we're going to do a video with him. We're going to do a video
with him. And
Super.
It's going to be, if people can hang for the weekend, that's another paid event, but he's going to talk about ClickFunnels and how to automate your website and automate your sales leads as they come in. You know, we're all automated on Facebook, which is nice, and LinkedIn. We've got that down to a science. When you're here at Precision Powerwash and Precision Soap, I'll bring you up to my media room. We'll show you that. We will pull back the curtain and show you what we do so you can go grow your business. I have nothing to hide from anybody. We do have a mentor program available. We will pitch that as well a little bit, show you that. see what it's about. When you have troubles pricing up your work, I had a guy in here, he's a part-time guy, a police officer. He joined a mentor program, and he was looking at it was an auto body shop. He was going to price it up at $2,500. The list price on that job was $7,000. Look, even if he came in, he left double the money on the table. So that mentor program that I have going on, which is new for me, it's an advisor program. I'm here to help you grow your business. Obviously, I'll get $1 or $2 for my knowledge, and that's my disclaimer. You pay, I'll show you how to get there from A to B and get off that curb. And even if you're a veteran in business, it's all right to be sharing those nuggets back and forth. What's that, Rhonda?
Nobody inboxed me for a shirt. Nobody wants a shirt. You know, you mentioned, I'm going to say this. I'm going to do this in closing because we're about 35 right after. Look, you said something about breaking a window, right? And you said, you know, taking care of it. You just have a mission to it and you take care of it. That struck something on in my brain about, I used to believe, you know, we do this thing where, you know, you're told customers are always right. Okay. And then you go through this phase of, because you're an entrepreneur and you're successful, well, customers aren't always right. And when you start believing that, you are doing something wrong. And here's what it is. And it's a deep thought here that you got to really think about. And I'm going to tell you a story about the broken window. If you don't understand that if you have the right customers, they are always right. If you have the wrong customers, possibly they're not always right. And that's a problem for you because you got the wrong customers. You see, I've broken windows before, okay? And I've had customers call, and we know we didn't break the window, okay? The window was broken. But guess what? We replaced the window because that customer was worth it, okay? Because we weren't going to argue with that customer. But the problem with that is that when you're growing your business, you got the wrong customers, and you get one customer like that wants to have you replace a window that you don't want to replace, and you stand strong on it, and you're not going to replace it. And that not replacing that window will cost you, okay? It will cost you. And here we go. I'm going to say it again, and you got to really think about this. If you got the right customers, they're always right, and you're going to replace that window because they're worth having as a customer. If they're not worth having as a customer and they're not right, then you need to rethink how you're building your business. You agree with that?
Oh, 100%. And just to share that with people, we've kind of eliminated that issue. We'll videotape the property before we start and send it over to the customer and go, here you go.
But are you ready for this one? If the right person calls you and still says you broke the window, whether it's videotape proof or not, you're fixing the glass.
Or another way, even if you're starting a job or you're looking at something, I've been on jobs and where I see an electrical panel loose, I'll text the picture over to the property manager even before I'm just pricing it up, and I'm like, hey, I saw this was wrong with your property here. And you're kind of doing them a service is another way of looking at that. So you can kind of. But if he or she or whoever were to call me and say, Colm, you did that mistake on this, we'd gladly fix it. It just, even sometimes we know, but to keep a good customer and a good paying customer, more importantly, is magic, you know. And getting back to the event, Ron, 30 years, you're 37. I am so
67.
Looking forward. 67. No, I thought you were 42.
And I can't wait for Jeff. 67 combined.
67 combined. And Jeff, the entrepreneur, on the Saturday,
he
will be here. We have a happy hour going on. Jeff will be here on the Friday, giving a little preview about his class before he'll end the day there on Friday. The agenda is going to be chock-a-block. Do you know there's a saying, there's what's that at the end of the rainbow? What is it? What do you call that?
Pot of gold.
Pot of gold. Well, when you go chase
You're Irish, man. You're supposed to know that.
Well, I was just feeding it to you so we could get it down, get our pitch down here.
I'm glad
So
I'm glad you didn't we didn't, try to act that one before we
right,
rehearse it.
yeah, that's it. And take two. But real quick, the pot of gold analogy at the rainbow. No matter how people view me or Ron over the years, or people have their differences of opinion in this industry, results don't lie. Results do not lie. We are still here. And maybe I'm on one end of the rainbow and Ron is on the other. But when you come to the event, you get the complete rainbow. Colm and Ron, boom. And we can't give you the gold, but we can give you the nuggets that make up that pot of gold and the knowledge. And if you've got a question or a quiz, and when people join my mentorship, the advisor mentorship program, you get that the rainbow is there at the end of it with a text, just like people text Ron for advice.
And we both love what we're doing, right? That's a big key, man. And there is one thing this is the one thing that's going to happen to this event. You got the two guys in the industry. We are the most fun at any event, guaranteed on that. So we're going to have a good time, and you guys are going to be very entertained. I'm going to close it out, man. Guys, National Cleaning Expo on the 15th. There's a lot going on July 15th. It'll be up. The details will be up by Monday. Make sure you go there, get registered. And I'm going to tell you what, guys, for the first 15 guys that register, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to bring the first 15 guys a shirt. So the first 15 guys that get registered, they're going to get a free shirt. Man, Colm, I really appreciate you coming out. I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to the day before, guys. I'm going to give some free marketing and sales out. We're going to do it in a speakeasy. It'll be at 1 o'clock on the 14th. We know that for certain, but all the details will be up. Make sure you guys come out and check it out. There's the speakeasy. Colm, appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming on and talking to me. We'll talk to Jeff the Entrepreneur next week, right?
All right, giddy up. Sure will, Ron. Appreciate you, man.
See you guys then. NationalCleaningExpo.com.